Hello everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Carrie, and if you don't already, please subscribe to this channel, give me a thumbs up and head over to Instagram and give me a follow at Carrie Can Make It, because I don't want you to miss out on any sewing and crafty tutorial, and you can also see what I'm up to on my crafty journey. Today's sewing tutorial is a Christmas stocking, and I think that this is the most perfect Christmas stocking to give to someone in your life. Now this is my take on one. I would say that this is quite a large stocking, really simple to make, great for a beginner, perfect for someone that's intermediate into sewing, but you've got opportunities here to personalise it for your loved one, and I have used the most gorgeous materials in this. This is the Craft Cotton Company's Unicorn Christmas fabric, and it's got pink and white unicorns with mint and pink trees, holly, snowflakes, poinsettias. It screams girliness. I love it, and these are for my daughters. So I've also used the Craft Cotton Company denim for the lining, and used some Happy Fabric heat transfer glitter vinyl to personalise it for my daughter, and added on a little jingle bell and a loop. So here is what you're going to need to make this lovely stocking. So here's what you're going to need to make your stocking. So first of all, you're going to need to pick two fabrics that you love. One for the lining and one for the outer. You've seen what I've gone with, but I would go for about 1 metre each, just so you've got plenty to play with. And yes, if you've got two fabrics, then you'll obviously need 1 metre of each. You will have some left over. If you're making a smaller stocking, you're going to need less. And the secret ingredient to this stocking is the wadding. I love Bosal products, and this is their light fusible batting that I've used in this. It adheres to the fabric, so you just iron it on, follow the guidance, but it provides your stocking with some structure, because Santa doesn't want a soggy stocking hanging on the door. So yeah, it holds its shape and makes it look more professional, in my personal opinion. You're going to need your sewing machine. Today I'm using my Janome Atelier 9, which is a dream machine, but as long as you've got a sewing machine, that will do. You'll need your scissors, some sharp ones. And to add on the little extra detail, I've got a jingle bell, but you could add any other trimmings that you like. And then for the tie, you're going to need approximately 6.5 inches of a ribbon or yarn of your choice. I've gone for a recycled t-shirt yarn. Now, when it comes to the actual template, I haven't provided one. However, if you go on the internet and search for a stocking template, you can print one off and download it. But what I did was found a little cheap stocking knocking around, and I drew around it, added on some fat to the edges to make myself a stocking template. So you'll also need your pins as well. If you have got wonder clips, I prefer to use them, just because we're going to go through lots of layers, and you'll need your thread as well. So here, let's get started. Okay, so with your template, you need to make sure you've cut out 2 of the wadding for the stocking. You need to cut out 2 pieces for the lining and 2 pieces for the outer. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is take one of your main fabric pieces to one of the pieces of the fusible batting and lay it on top, and then follow the guidance for applying the adhesive wadding, but it's just put it on like so, and make sure you've got your iron at the right setting and press it in place. Repeat this for both of the front pieces of fabric. Okay, so now you've got both of your stocking pieces. Now with your thread, to create the ribbon tie, you're going to want to fold it together, and then on the right side, so we trap it when we sew it, you're going to want to mark it about roughly about 5.5 to 6 inches down on the side. So just get your rule and work out which way that's going to be. So mine's about there, and then we're going to pin it in place, and then put the other piece of stocking, the back piece, on top of the front, right sides together, and then we're going to clip it all the way round, but leaving the top open. Okay, so now I've pinned the stocking all the way around with these wonder clips. We're now going to take it to the sewing machine. I'm using a straight stitch and a regular sewing machine foot, but if you do have a walking foot, it would be an idea to use it. But this Janome Atelier 9 copes really well. And I'm just going to do a 1 centimetre seam allowance all the way around the stocking, leaving the top open. When it comes to where your tie is, just go over it a couple of times just to reinforce it so it doesn't get tempted to come out. Now you want to trim the excess, and when it comes to the curved bits on the stocking, clip into them so it turns out really nice and crisp. Now turn it out to the right way just to check that you're happy with the shape and that you've caught your ribbon properly. Poke out all the ends, because then what we're going to do is we're going to give it a nice press. So you can see there that it's caught the ribbon lovely. Okay, so now we need to move on to the lining. So we're going to put our stocking lining pieces right side together, and we are going to sew round it just like we did the main. The only difference being on this long side here, so not the toe end, not the toe side, this side, from the heel upwards we're going to leave a turning gap. So we're going to sew all the way down, stop, start here, go all the way around, and then we're going to attach it, and then we're going to use this to open it to turn it out. Okay, so we're going to take the lining piece to the sewing machine and do the same 1 centimetre seam allowance, and just remember to leave that turning gap. So I'm going all the way down this long side, and then I'm going to stop, reverse, cut my threads. And this machine is amazing because you don't have to mess about. Take it all the way down to leave a hand's turning gap. Put your needle back in, reverse stitch to secure, and then finish going all the way round to the top edge. Pivoting as you go and removing your clips. And again, we're going to want to trim off the excess and clip into these corners. But be sure on this turning point, don't trim your seam allowance there, because you're going to need that for when we stitch it back up. Now it's trimmed, we're going to want to turn this out the right way and give it another press. point where the opening is, you'll see the reason why we don't cut off the extra there is so when we fold it together there's plenty of material to keep it secure. Now you can either whip stitch this together by hand and needle, or you can take it under the sewing machine and just run a stitch along. It's going to be inside, so it doesn't matter if you see the contrasting thread or not. Okay, so we've got the lining stocking and the main stocking. Now we need to put one inside the other, so keep your main front of the stocking right side facing, and then with the lining turn that back inside out, because what we're going to then do is just turn it inside, give it a good shake, is then insert the main stocking, so it's going toe to toe inside, shove it all the way in, and then we're going to match up the seams at the top. So we've got the seam here matching up with the lining seam together, and we're going to clip them all the way around, and then match up the other side seam with the side seam of the lining. If your sewing machine's got a free arm, take it off. So this is going to help when we're sewing the top bit of the stocking together. So insert your stocking, and we're going to do a 1 cm seam allowance all the way round. Now trim the seam allowance, and now we're going to turn it the right way out. Okay, so we've trimmed the top. Now we've got the side opening here, so we're going to put our hand in and pull the stocking through. So you'll end up with 2 tubes. Now we're going to push through the lining to the bottom of the stocking, toe to toe. Okay, so the turning bit in the lining is still open, so now is the point where you choose to whip stitch it or put it under your sewing machine just to close it up. Okay, to get a really nice crisp finish, it's important to press down the fabric so that they don't roll on top of each other. So you're going to want it really nice and neat, not like that. You want it buttered up to the edge. Okay, now we've pressed it, we need to give it a nice cuff. So there's your loop. You're going to want to turn it over to give it a cuff so it sits just nicely above. So literally turn it through. So it sits just like that. And now you can personalise the top of your cuff. So I'm going to put my daughter's name on. Okay, so I've cut out my text with the Happy Fabric glitter vinyl in this lovely sort of minty colour. I've used my Cricut maker and now going to position it where I want on the stocking. I've got my Cricut heat pad on the bottom. I've warmed up my easy press and I'm just going to centralise it. and then I've got it heated up to the right requirements. And there we have it, her name on, and all that's left now is to add on the jingle bell, and I'm going to thread this through on the loop, and this is now Santa ready. Congratulations, you've now made a stocking. That was such a lovely project to make. Please make sure you tag me on Instagram in your stockings at Carrie Can Make It. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and give me a thumbs up, and I will share your stockings as much as I can. If you've got any questions, send me a DM and I'll do my best to get back to you. Have a wonderful, healthy and happy Christmas, and I will see you in the new year for lots more crafty and sewing tutorials. Bye!